I'm Becky Fuller, and I attend the Adairsville campus, and this is my story. I grew up in church, since I was born, I'm pretty sure, but I didn't accept Christ until I was 21. I had the head knowledge, but not the heart until I was 21. God just revealed himself to me in a new way, and so that's when my true spiritual journey probably began, was at the age of 21. But I will say that faith that I had was really put to the test about 3 years ago. I woke up and I was completely numb on the left side of my body, like from the middle of my chest over. It's very weird. Oddly, I didn't think a whole lot of it, and I was like, that's weird. And I went on to work. And I work in radiology, so one of the neuro radiologists happened to come into my area, and I said, hey, why do you think I'm numb on the left side of my body? And he just real nonchalantly was like, well, you better make sure you don't have MS. And like when he said that, like my heart stopped. Because like 15 years ago, I had a different doctor tell me that there was a possibility of MS, but quickly wrote that off, told me it was a false alarm, like not to worry about it. And I did that. I didn't worry about it ever again until that moment when he said that. It all came rushing back to me. And I knew when he said it what was happening, but I went and got the MRI. And because I work in radiology, I didn't have to wait for the results. I was able to just walk right back there and look at the screen. So when the doctor pulled up the scan on the big screen, I knew exactly what I was looking at. And it were lesions covering my brain and my spine. And I had 13 at that time. And, he pointed out the lesions that were causing my numbness and explained to me that where lesions land on your brain and spine determines what kind of results you'll have. So, MS is different for different people. It's an autoimmune disease. Some people call it multiple sclerosis. We call it MS for short. But it affects people differently. Some people have a more aggressive form. Some people's not as much. But the one thing we kind of all have in common is depending on where those lesions land, you don't know what's going to happen. So just like I woke up 3 years ago numb on my left side, I could wake up tomorrow with a lesion on my brain that causes my legs not to work. I could wake up tomorrow with a lesion somewhere on my brain that causes me to lose my vision. So you truly don't know what each day is going to bring. And so that's kind of a fear that we all kind of live with. I don't know, I don't feel like God reached down and struck me with a disease. I don't feel like I'm being punished. I kind of feel like disease is a result of sin. Not necessarily my sin directly, but it kind of goes back to the Garden of Eden. When God created us, he made us perfect, in his image, flawless. But then when Adam and Eve chose to sin, that kind of messed everything up. And that includes us and our bodies. There were consequences for their actions. And so sickness, disease, pain, all of that is kind of part of it. But I don't let that discourage me really, because I know what God's word says, and his word tells me that he's not done with me yet. And so for me in Acts 3, when it talks about he's going to come back and restore everything, that's everything. That's including us. That's including our bodies. And I think it's important to remember, this earth is not our home, and these bodies are not our forever bodies. This isn't the end all be all. So when he mentions again in Philippians 3 that when he restores our bodies, it's going to be his glorious body. And I don't know about you, but to me, a glorious body sounds like a pretty good thing. So I cling to that, and I have to apply that faith that I chose at the age of 21. I have to put that into action now. I can focus on the negative and worry about what tomorrow brings, worry about what's going to happen to my body, or I can cling to his promises. And I can look at his word and see what he says and what he has promised. And one day he's going to come back and he's going to resurrect us. He's going to give us new bodies. And he's going to make everything perfect again, just the way it was in the beginning. That's how he intended it to be. And so that's where my hope lies.